Confidence. The difference between making millions, living your best life, achieving goals that feel impossible, and still living at home with your mother. I've been thinking about this word recently quite a lot. For example, in Italian, fida, I think it's kind of the root of this word, means trust. Confidence is literally trusting in you and trusting in me, trusting in the world, trusting that actually the world wants you to win and that every challenge that you're getting is an invitation of expansion, an invitation to become more and more of your most powerful, most capable self. The problem we face as humans is that whenever life throws a curveball, we tend to shell up. We tend to act like my client says, like a turtle. I tend to turtle up and hide away. And I say, you're not a turtle, you're a ninja turtle. That's kind of the temptation when being human. The temptation is to think of yourself as this animal who needs a shell, who needs protection, when in fact you're a badass with nunchucks. Yeah? Shout out to Michelangelo. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle, by the way? I think, I haven't thought about this for a long time, but I think mine is Leonardo. So, what does it actually take to amplify your confidence? Because a lot of people know this intuitively, but they don't fully know it. It's not a main focus, rather. And I see this with my clients, I see this with entrepreneurs, especially. Your confidence is directly proportionate to your income. So if you're kind of struggling in business, or maybe you're a coach or an expert, you're extremely good at your craft, you're extremely confident in being a coach and helping other people, but your business confidence sucks. Guess what? Your income probably sucks as well. But the good news is, you spent a lot of time developing yourself in this specific aspect of your life. All you need to do is level up your confidence in these aspects where you are not really performing to match your overall level of confidence. And that's when you start to shine. I'll give you another example. Another client of mine, very, very good in terms of his fitness, very disciplined, has a habit of going to the gym, especially if he doesn't feel like it. Especially, like, he told me the other day that he went to the gym and did 1 rep of each set. He needed to show up. His business, however, is not performing to the level it could. And I said, look, you have proven yourself extremely well in this area of your life. You're extremely capable, extremely confident when it comes to your fitness, right? And he said, yeah. Why? Because you have certain habits in place, and certain habits are non-negotiables, right? Whereas in business, your confidence isn't really there, and you're not really putting the work, you're not really doing the things that will move your business forward. What if you brought this version of you who's extremely capable in fitness, that version of you who respects his non-negotiables, into business? What would that happen? If you're watching this, I know you have areas in your life where you are extremely powerful, right? You know your things. If a curveball shows up, you're like, yeah, whatever, I'll figure this out because I've done it so many times. And you have other areas in your life, or maybe even in your business, where if something doesn't go how you expect it to, you have a tendency to either shell up or lash out. And you forget about your state. You forget about your power. You forget who you truly are. And even if you lash out and you think in some ways it's better than, retreating, but it's still not power. Because power, real power, when something shows up that you don't like, real power is laughing at it, right? I didn't get the sale. Ha! They rejected my offer. Ha! Um, this client stopped working with us. Ha! No problem. Let's get better. Let's get better. That's what it's inviting us to do. Let's improve. Let's level up. This is my opportunity to become better at lead generation and marketing, become better at sales, become better at client delivery. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Right? You say that after you laughed your ass off. Now, am I extremely good at doing this in every aspect of my life? No, I suck when it comes to my family. I tend to get very, very angry with my parents, and that's something I need to work on, right? I get triggered very, very easily instead of just laughing at it. Whereas in other aspects of my life, like lead generation, I used to get pummeled, like demolished when somebody would say, I don't care about your offer. Stop messaging me. Fuck off. I don't care about your stupid coaching, blah, 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 blah. It would demolish me. Why? Because I didn't believe in my service. Now somebody says, I don't want your coaching, I'm not interested. What an interesting approach, right? This person robbed themselves of a completely transformative and powerful, like they've never experienced this level of coaching in their lives, and they robbed themselves of it. So funny, right? So funny. It doesn't get to me anymore. How do we actually do this? How do we amplify your power? And I'm using confidence and inner power interchangeably because to me it's the same thing. When you see yourself objectively, when you start to see your value, who you truly are, that's when you expand and you level up your confidence, and you level up your confidence, you level up your income, you level up your freedom, you level up your ability to create, your ability to be. Because it's not just about doing. It's also about being. Who are you being when you are doing the thing? Are you being in a state of fear and doubt, or are you being in a state of expansiveness of I don't care? Give me your best shot because I will take it, I will adapt, I will become stronger, smarter, more effective, more efficient. And next time this challenge comes around, I will kick the shit out of it. Fata! Right? This is what I want for you. This is what I want you to experience in this experience called life. How do we do it? Number one, the idea of being enough. Your skills are not the thing that makes you enough. You are not yet good enough for your goals. There's a caveat coming. Before you click off, and if you're already triggered and you're clicking off, fine. Do it. Right? But here's the thing. Being good enough has nothing to do with your current skills, because your skills right now are not good enough for the goals that you want. There's a lot more to learn. Because think of it this way. If your skills were good enough, if you were already as skilled as you needed to be, you will already have the goals, but you don't. But that's fine. That is not what makes you good enough. What makes you good enough is your ability to redefine a situation and give it a positive, empowering meaning. What makes you good enough is your passion for your work, your passion for making progress. That's number 3, right? So your ability to define your reality, to define what it means to you in a certain situation. Is it the world saying you suck? Or is it the world saying, I believe in you, here's an opportunity to grow, use it. This is your tool for your next level. This is exactly what you need to learn to grow. Number two, are you passionate about what you do? Are you truly passionate about it? Do you wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to work towards this? Towards number three, making progress. Are you making progress every single day? These three elements make you good enough, and they're built in. They're built inside of you. Whether you use them or not, you have them inside of you. This is what makes you good enough. And this will allow you to level up and learn any skill you need, any character trait, or whatever else you need to be that version that can, number one, handle the goals, or rather create the goals and then amplify them further. This is what makes you good enough. So this is the number one thing to understand this definition of I am good enough, what it actually truly means and what it doesn't mean. Because you can say to yourself, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough for infinity and beyond. But if you're not leveling up your skills, your understanding, if you're not changing the way you perceive things, because think of it this way, from a martial arts perspective, right? I have a big opponent. You're sparring with this opponent. They're kicking your ass, and you're like, crap, I suck. What's gonna happen next time you spar? They're gonna kick your ass again. Whereas this is the one thing that allowed me to accelerate my progress in martial arts. For those of you who don't know, I used to teach martial arts. And I changed a few martial arts styles, right, before I found the one that I was teaching. And in every school that I was in, I was able to accelerate faster than any other person. Why? Because I was always sparring the best. I was always training with the best, and they were kicking my ass constantly initially. But I never defined it as, oh, I suck. They kick my ass like, okay, cool, I learned something new right now. I learned that when he comes in, I need to adjust and attack from this different angle, right? I learned that when he kicks, I need to block the kick and immediately go in with my hands. Opportunity. So, that was step number one. What it means to be enough. Step number two. Start your day with what you don't want to do. Start your day with what you don't want to do. Start your day with what you don't want to do, because it's most likely your most profitable task. It's most likely the one thing that's going to move the business forward. If you're not making progress, it's because you're associating the thing that's going to move you forward with something you don't want to do, something you're afraid to do, something that you're avoiding, you're putting off, you're procrastinating on. You want to be a leader? You want to have an impact in people's lives? You want to say, I feel worthy for my goals? And yet you're not doing the one thing that's going to move things forward. Do you see the mismatch? Do you see the challenge? Do you see the problem? What got you here will not get you there. You know that. But the thing is, it's going to feel uncomfortable in the first day. It's going to feel uncomfortable second day. It's going to feel maybe less uncomfortable the third day. And then after a week, it's just going to be the way you start your day, because you've overcome it. What do I mean by that? From an energetical standpoint, the challenge, you do the thing and you overcome it energetically. What does it mean, right? You've overcame it, but you're also integrating that thing. So imagine a challenge being this energetic entity. You overcome it, right? And then when you learn it, you integrate it into your energetic body, and guess what? Your energy expands. And now you are expanded. But that doesn't happen if you don't push yourself a bit in the beginning. Giving another example. Let's just imagine lead generation. Let's just imagine that your way of generating leads or sales calls for your business is reaching out to people every day. Let's just say you're kind of in the beginning, you're doing it manually, but you don't want to do it because you're afraid of rejection. Should you start with doing 30, 40, 50 outreach messages, like reaching out to this many people? No, because it's too scary. It's too much. You're going to get rejected a lot. It's overwhelming. Start your day with doing 2. Send 2 messages, but start your day with that. Don't do your morning rituals. Don't do your meditations. Don't do anything before you do that. Just do 2 outreaches. Then the next day, maybe do 3, or just keep doing 2. Keep yourself in your, a bit of a comfort zone while you're doing it, small steps. But hey, after you did that thing, you're like, all of a sudden, you're someone who starts the day with the uncomfortable. You're all of a sudden someone who starts the day with the most profitable tasks. And sometimes the most profitable task, this is what I say, the uncomfortable might be the uncomfortable or might be the most profitable task, but I actually personally prefer stating it or defining it as starting your day with your most profitable task. Why? Because your most profitable task today might be lead generation, but tomorrow it might be serving clients. The next day it might be meditating, or after a certain period, your most profitable task might be your daily rituals of meditation, of reminding yourself of who you're growing into, your shifting identity rituals, right? It depends on the stage of your life you are in. And it also depends on how you define profits, because profits could also mean fulfillment, right? Am I generating profits in terms of fulfillment, right? The delta between what I'm putting in and what I'm getting from the business as fulfillment, joy, happiness, and energy. But that's a conversation that we need to have in a separate video, in another video. So these are the elements. Now, something that I also want to share, step number 3 in terms of overcoming. You know that quote from Einstein that says something around the lines of, you cannot solve a problem by looking at it from the same level or looking at it from the same level. The problem is whenever we encounter a challenge, again, imagine that energetic entity being a challenge for now, right? Just humor me. What we tend to do is, if the challenge is this big, we tend to look at it and make ourselves smaller, right? Oh my God, people are not buying. Oh my God, I cannot find people to hire. Oh my God, I want to start a business, but it's so hard. It's so competitive. I'm afraid, right? So when we make ourselves smaller, what is required to be able to overcome it and integrate it is this. You cannot overcome or integrate it from this perspective. But the beauty is that this is not who you are. This is the illusion of who you are. Who you are is expanded, massively expanded compared to that challenge. Take a moment right now, think of a challenge. Imagine that challenge as being this energetic entity, right? And see yourself how you usually see yourself compared to that challenge. Small, insignificant, powerless, helpless, a victim, right? And now notice your true self. Notice the version of you, the full version of you. And now notice that the challenge that you were looking at like this previously, sorry, Mike, I didn't want to damage you, injure you. The challenge you were previously looking at like this, now all of a sudden is a grain of sand. It is from this perspective that you can energetically overcome the challenge and integrate it into your set of experience and into your set of skills. Does this make sense? This is what you can integrate in your business, in your life, to achieve the goals that feel impossible right now. Is it a process of doing it consistently? Yes. Is it something, aka it's not something you do once and you're like, amazing. Why? Because life loves you, and life will give you more and more opportunity to expand, to be more of you. AKA more challenges. Welcome them as that opponent who's better than you at the moment, for the moment, that you can spar with, and then you can overcome and become so much better at your craft. Have fun. What was your biggest insight? What was your biggest takeaway from this conversation? Let me know. And of course, follow for more insights that are going to help you achieve the impossible. And check out this video. I think you're going to really, really like it.